take that.
Yeah.
So you're refusing to leave?
I'm refusing to leave.
Why?
Because I'm a Jew, I'm a citizen, and I'm your boss. And I don't leave because you say Jews aren't allowed on the streets.
In the interest of keeping peace here and public safety, you're under arrest for breach of the peace. Take them in.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
Whose streets?
Our streets.
All right. Who wants to lead us in O Canada? Who's got a beautiful voice? You want to start things off? All right, you get us started.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all thy sons command.
We will not leave the streets to the Nazis. They're in their own country. This is not Gaza. This is Canada.
Sorry, whoa, which corner? You said south. Sorry, on the, Okay.
So what's the plan? Keep the Jews out and then clear a path for the Hamas guys? What's the plan, fellas? Hey, how are you? Nice to see you again. What's the plan?
Peaceful day, sir. That's it.
Well, but looks like you're blocking anyone from going there. Are you going to open it up for the Jews?
We're not blocking anyone, sir.
Well,
that's just so no one gets onto the roadway and gets injured. That's it.
okay, so if I go over there just to do reporting, not to engage with the Hamas side, standing on public property, will I be allowed to stand?
All I care about is that no one gets hurt or assaulted or anything like that.
In this chilly weather, I appreciate you being here. Our official program will start at 9 a.m. and it's a very simple program. We're going to cross the street on the light. We're not going to jaywalk. We're going to go over to the other side where for the past several weeks, pro-Hamas extremists, many of whom are not even Canadian citizens, have brought a torrent of anti-Semitic hate and even threats. And we are going to do something very simple. We're going to stand on the public sidewalk. We're not going to engage with the Hamas extremists. There's no point in it. You won't convince them. They're like robots. They just say whatever line has been handed to them by Iran. As you know, there are 700 agents of the Islamic Republic of Iran who are operating in Canada. It's atrocious, but that's how it is. And my colleague has with me letters from our lawyer, Leora Shemesh, who's a very senior criminal lawyer here in Toronto. And it is a form of a legal memo which we sent to the police yesterday, both the police headquarters and the local attachment, outlining an important court case. And I'm just going to take a moment to tell you about that court case. A man named Fleming had a flag like this, a Canadian flag, and he was standing at the side of the road, and he was protesting in Caledonia. And some counter-protesters started to move towards him. And the police arrested Mr. Fleming. Now, he wasn't doing anything wrong. He wasn't doing anything criminal or illegal in any way. He was just holding a Canadian flag. And the police arrested him because they said it was an incitement to breach of the peace. The Supreme Court, in a 9-0 ruling, said that's not the law. You cannot arrest someone in Canada who is not doing anything wrong simply because someone else might have a breach of the peace. In fact, the police duty is to go after the folks who would cause the breach, not the law-abiding bystander. That is the top law of the land. The Supreme Court of Canada, 9-0, issued that ruling. And it's common sense, too. Now, what you'll see is there's so many police here. You probably saw some of them. There's an enormous number of police vehicles. For those of you who ducked into Wimpy's Diner for a hot coffee, there's a bunch of cops in there too. There is no reason at all why police have to manhandle law-abiding, peaceful Canadians. So if they were going to enforce the law, they can enforce the law against the people who would be violent. The people who have come in from afar. This is a residential area. There is no political target in this area. There's no embassy or consulate. This is a residential area with apartments many of whom are Jewish residents. That is specifically why the Hamas activists have come here, to taunt and defame Jews. You don't have to be a Jew to find that upsetting. That's not the Canadian way. Just the same as if there was a KKK protest outside a black church in a black community, you don't have to be black to find that odious. And what we see instead is the police running cover for the modern version of the KKK. And just like the KKK, many of them wear face masks because they're cowards and they want to hide their identity, and it's also more menacing. None of us have masks because we're proud of what we're doing. We know what we're doing. We're simply asserting our rights. And so at the hour of 9 o'clock, I would invite you to walk with me with the crosswalk sign, not jaywalking, and we are going to plant our feet on the ground. We're going to keep warm with coffee and donuts, and you can read the legal memo from our lawyer. And I want to tell you that the Hamas people plan to be here at around 10.
They're here right now.
They're here right now.
Yeah, this is your parking spot.
So we have to make a decision. Do we hold the line? Now, do not resist arrest. If police touch you and say you're under arrest, comply. I think we have to go over now, so we're going to walk over peacefully right now. Please follow me.
Free Canada.
It's not for Ezra, it's for Canadians. Hello, officer. Good morning, how are you today?
How are you?
I brought some of my friends,
Yep, no problem at all.
and I'd like to tell you what I plan to do.
Yes, sir.
And I'd like your feedback if you have any advice for me. So these people are all different backgrounds, different religions, different races. The one thing they have in common is they're Canadian citizens who think we have the right to stand on the public sidewalk, even if a Hamas activist might be upset by that. I've talked to everybody here, and I've encouraged them to be completely peaceful,
Yep.
not to talk to the Nazis or the Hamas side, because there's no fruit in that. I've also told them that if they're arrested, to comply, not to resist arrest. And I would find that extremely unfortunate if that happens, but we're not going to be violent. The violent ones, the threatening ones, are the Hamas thugs.
So we're just maintaining the peace, right? Obviously, everyone's out here to peacefully protest, and we're going to maintain the peace and ensure everyone complies with that.
But there's two ways to maintain the peace. One is to stop the violent threateners. The other is to take the peaceful people off the sidewalk. So it's my hope that you will not arrest my peaceful citizen friends. And if any threats
Everyone's of the how they are right now, no one's getting arrested.
All right.
Everything's going to run smoothly, all right?
Now, I'm sorry, I'd like to give you a letter which we sent by email to the headquarters and to the local detachment.
Have you sent it already?
Yes, we sent it by email
fine.
yesterday.
That's fine. Then they'll get it. You don't have to give it to me.
Okay,
They'll get it.
this letter outlines the case called Fleming versus Ontario, which was a Supreme Court case. But listen, it's nice to see you because I felt like 2 weeks ago when we saw you here, I know that you actually helped us by investigating an assault by these Hamas thugs against one of our reporters. So thank you for that.
No problem. Enjoy your day.
Okay, thanks. There you go. Well, let's get the coffee and donuts set up, and we're going to be on the street. You know why? Because we're Canadian citizens, and we don't yield the streets because some Hamas thugs tell us to.
Right.
Whose streets? Our streets. Whose streets?
Our street.
Whose streets?
Our street.
Whose streets?
Our street.
All right. Who wants to lead us in O Canada? Who's got a beautiful voice? You want to start things off? All right, you get us started.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all thy sons command.
With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Well, Catherine, you have a beautiful voice. Great to see you.
I need a selfie with you.
Sure.
I gotta get it out
Okay.
on social media.
I just want to say God bless Rebel News, and God bless you guys for the hypocrisy that we're viewing. Trudeau owns the police, he owns the media, and this is the only bright light shining on what's going on. But we really appreciate you.
Yeah, and Ezra Levant, you're amazing. The reason I'm here is because I absolutely don't agree with what happened last week, that he got arrested simply for walking on the street. That's not acceptable. That's not, I've been living here for the past 35 years. I've never seen anything like that. We should be free to walk wherever we want. Anyone, any color, any culture, any religion, this is not acceptable. So that's the reason I'm here today. So thank you, Rebel. Thank you, Ezra Levant. Thank you for what you do.
Well, folks, as you can see, it is the return of the bloody couch. Now, this isn't an example of bad housekeeping. This is a prop where, as we observed last week, they had somebody on the Hamas side basically cosplaying as Yahya Sinwar. He was the mastermind of the massacre that happened in southern Israel last October 7th, 2023. And it is, again, just ramping up the rhetoric, isn't it? This is a vigil, if you will, for Sinwar. We're waiting for the cosplayer to show up. I wonder who it's going to be. Oh, I see Mr. Anus. Mr. Anus, who is playing Sinwar today? Is it you? Oh, this is interesting. The symbolism.
It looks like it's you.
I know it looks. You know what? I think they're trying to communicate. I think they're sending a message. They've got a replica hat. I think that's supposed to represent me. So they have put my hat on the bloody chair. You know, Anus, that's not very nice. Why would you do that?
How you doing, Menzies?
Yes.
Free, free Palestine!
So you won't answer the question.
Free, free Palestine!
Now, this is Anus. He is the one that goes to 32 Division to order the police around for subsequent, I guess, crowd management, protest management. This is not conjecture, folks. Check out what we encountered a couple of weeks ago when I was coming out and Anus was coming in.
Intifada! Long live the Intifada!
What was he doing there?
Intifada!
Now he is chanting genocide. And really, I thought that's why he was at the cop shop. He was turning himself in for breaching Section 319 of the Criminal Code. And by the way, folks, I have some advice. If you have children in the future, and there's a pretty good chance that child will be, well, an a-hole, don't call the kid Anus.
And I'd like to say one more thing. There's a lot of us old people. Get out of your chair, get off your ass, and come down. You know what's going on. You know what the country that we built. Come and save it. Save it for your grandkids. Save it for your kids.
Yes.
Like, for God's sakes, you know what's going on. You're smart enough. Get down here.
For the last year, we have not seen the rule of law in Canada. We see foreign thugs and some of their domestic sympathizers, usually woke radicals from universities. We've seen them break the law. And I'm not even talking about hate speech. I'm talking about trespass, mischief, uttering threats, nuisances. And bizarrely, the police abide that. There were full-on riots in Montreal last week, hundreds of Hamas activists in the streets, and I understand the police only arrested 3 people. We see this every day. Hey, Lou, great to see you.
Good to see you.
And we see illegal trespass at the University of Toronto for months, and we wonder where the police are. And shockingly, the answer is acting as concierges to the Hamas side. I see some Hamas thugs down there. I'm going to go make sure that the police are doing their job. Nazis out! 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 Look at the cowards covering their faces! Look at the cowards covering their faces! Cowards cover their face! Cowards cover their face! Cowards cover their face!
Ezra, please. 5 feet.
We will not leave the streets to the Nazis. They're in the wrong country. This is not Gaza. This is Canada.
I'm sorry. I can't see you guys.
This is not Gaza. This is Canada, not Gaza. Nazis out. Nazis out. You're almost as good as a singer as I am. No, I'm standing my ground, officer. I'm standing my ground. Today I'm standing my ground.
This tree right here. We were here. Right here. Right here. Thank you. This tree.
I don't understand. We were here. This is I'm asking you guys. Listen. No. Now it's a public safety issue.
No. Public safety. They should be leaving. I pay taxes in this community. I pay taxes in this community.
This is exactly Ezra what I don't want. Someone stepped on his foot. Listen, stepped on his foot. Accidentally. Listen, we don't want that kind of violence.
I'm talking to the
We don't want
boss.
that violence, okay? Yeah, you have a right to be here, but we're maintaining the peace. Last week when I was here and they were there and you came over, I allowed you to come over. And I allowed you onto your side. So it's not fair that you come here.
We'll stand here.
Let me finish.
We'll stand here.
It's not fair that you come here first and I tell them to leave. I never did it to you. I let you stay on your side. So don't say that it's unfair, because it's not unfair. I never arrested him. So don't say I did, okay? I did not arrest him. So let me say it, Ezra. When you came and they were here, I allowed you to stay. I allowed those that want to be interviewed by you to allow them. And I hope you shake your hand in front of everybody, because that's exactly what happened. I am not telling them to leave. What I'm going to do is make, so let me ask you a question.
I didn't ask you to tell them to leave.
Look, leave. Tell them they got to leave.
Well, I can shout that at them.
So this is what we're going to do. We're going to maintain a line with police officers and keep the two groups apart. If people want to be interviewed by you, and I know some do.
I don't want to talk to them.
But what we're going to do, well, I'm here to maintain peace, and that's exactly that.
Right. Well, let me.
And you're still here, and you're still here. And what's the issue?
Is your bylaw officer here?
No.
For sound?
No, not right now. Okay, so.
All right, let me make some comments to my friends.
Yes, thank you.
Hello, my friends. I've just spoken with the big boss, Officer Ford. Staff Sergeant, is that your title?
Yeah, that's fine.
Staff Sergeant Ford, and he says that in the interest of freedom of assembly, that the Hamas Nazis are allowed to be on the sidewalk. And my point of view is that is the right that we have sought for ourselves, the right to be on the sidewalk. And so I don't object to the staff sergeant saying even Nazis have civil rights in Canada. That's one of the differences between Canada and Gaza. And how ironic that these Nazis come here seeking to undermine the very freedom that they are abusing. So we have retaken the square. We're not going to drive out the Nazis, because they do have certain civil rights, even though they're despicable, even though they're racist. I would encourage the staff sergeant to enforce the law against them if they engage in assault or other mischief or uttering threats.
And it will be.
Because that has been glossed over by police these past years. But our goal here today is to stand our ground, not to drive out the Nazis. We can chant that the Nazis go out, but I accept the police argument that they have the right to stand here even if they're odious. One of the things about freedom of speech is you have to give it to your opponents if you want it for yourself as well. That's a distasteful thing when it's Nazis, but that is what we believe in. So I respect the fact that the staff sergeant has protected us and not allowed the Nazis to drive us out. Those are my thoughts. You may be less libertarian than me, but those are my beliefs. And remember, our plan for today was very simple. Hold our ground and not let any of these Hamas thugs drive us out. And I believe we have achieved that today. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.